This is where a lot of my clients would probably fall into is the self-loathing, self-hatred, hormonal imbalance is a common one, feeling isolated from the rest of the world, basically feeling in that space of being a quote unquote black sheep of the family or of the friend circle or of society. No, that the have leaving a bag of trash in the kitchen is a great analogy because you can't just talk to the bag of trash for it to go out to the dumpster. You actually have to do the work to remove the bag of trash to the dumpster or go to somebody who is a professional like yourself to help move said bag of trash to the dumpster. Underactivated or the negativity one where most of my clients sit in. I was in that space for a long time too. So for myself and any viewers, how would we stop attracting toxic people? And I think it kind of ties into this. So would you be able to explain to everybody what a karmic relationship is?
Okay, so the karmic relationship is something that has a lot of entanglement, the energetic entanglement over lifetimes.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 3 of the chakra system. And of course, we have Alina with us again from Energy Healing, Tarot, and Astrology with us today to talk about the 10 uncommon signs of the now Sacral Chakra Imbalance and how to heal those. Take it away, Alina.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to connect with all of you in this another brand new episode. So today we are going to talk about 10 uncommon signs of sacral chakra imbalance and how to heal them. So as we know that we live in the third dimensional world where we have both of the positive energy and the negative energy. So if someone's sacral chakra is positively overactivated or activated, then they can experience positive relationship, creativity, sensuality, self-love. On the other spectrum, on the negative side, they might experience toxic relationship, self-hatred, low libido, hormonal imbalance. Now, let's talk about in detail when someone's sacral chakra is positively overactivated. So understand that these people are very sociable. They're very extroverted. So have you seen some people, like when they go to a college or a new office or a new place, they make friends very easily, very spontaneously. They're very extroverted and people like them. They know how to be sociable. They know how to exchange greetings and stuff. Quite opposite as to the introverts. And also you would see that these people, they also receive a lot of help and support from others. So their friend circle is full of these supportive friends, right?
Right.
Okay. So you will also see the influencers. They have a lot of fan followers, like huge number of fan followers. You'll see this influencer with millions of subscribers, followers. That's because of their positively overactivated sacral chakra, right?
Makes sense.
All right, so a very good example of positively overactivated sacral chakra would be our famous celebrity and musician, Beyonce, no less. She is very creative, she is very sensual, she has a lot of active energy about the lower chakras. She's a very good dancer. She has a very positive relationship with her family members. Her fans are also very supportive of her. Next, we're going to talk about what happens when someone's solar plexus, sacral chakra is negatively overactivated. So these people would be very hypersocial or hypersexual. So imagine some people, they are very extroverted, but quite creepy. Like the reason why they interact with people, because they want some entertainment. They want to be narcissistic towards them. I mean, they just want to it's a kind of a codependent relationship that happens, that they need to be validated by others. Like, you tell me that I'm beautiful, you tell me that I'm cool enough, otherwise I wouldn't feel good about myself. And in that process they try to um, make themselves look very unique. Like, you see this kind of hair color, the kind of tattoo, piercing, all this unique fashion that they're adopting, not out of self-love. They're doing that out of self-hatred, because I mean, to get attention from others.
Kind of like
Now,
hiding in plain sight, like hiding their insecurities in plain sight.
definitely.
Right.
So these people, I mean, yeah, so they become codependent. They also become like drug addicted. They become addicted to relationship as well, because see, someone is in a relationship not because they love that person, but this man has to have a cool chick beside him just to look, just to be good enough. You know, like, I want people to tell me that I'm the coolest guy in the college. They need that validation. That's why they need to have the peer group, the friend circle, the people, the style and fashion, their food habit, the lifestyle, in a way that people will uh, give him the attention that they desire.
Right.
Okay, so you tell me about how drug addiction will come into play here.
Well, in firsthand experience, and I know when I've had my sacral chakra imbalanced, it was to numb the outside world, to numb that pain, to numb that feeling of not belonging. And then we hide ourselves, as I just asked the question or comment on, hiding ourselves in plain sight. But being that it still hurts and there's still pain there, using the drugs to numb that, or kind of like create that cushion barrier to still show up in life, just with like that emotional cushion, I guess, is the best way that I can describe it as.
Yeah, it does, because they need to have that comfort. And for them, the drug gives them the comfort.
Right.
They need to feel good. So when they don't get it from the outer validation, like during the day, no one told them like, okay, you're great. So they need to feel that about themselves by having alcohol.
Makes sense.
So a very good example of negatively overactivated sacral chakra would be Britney Spears. So do you remember what happened with Britney? Okay, so what happened was, because she was the Bill Gates of her family.
Right.
So her family members started to take advantage of her by exploiting her, by making her look like a drug addicted, mentally ill person.
Right.
Because it's not that I mean, she was definitely drugged and manipulated by her own family members, the kind of public mental breakdown that she had in that time. It was quite conspired by her family members. And to the point that, to tell the world that, okay, she's a mad, insane person who can't take decision for herself. So I'm her father and I get to manage her finances. So that's how the financial control got to her dad.
That makes sense.
Another thing that happened was, all the men that she had come across in terms of relationship were not good enough for her. I mean, if you remember, Justin Timberlake, also Kevin Federline, they were very, very toxic to her. So all of them, I think her father also had conspired to take her sons away from her. I mean, just to let her suffer alone. And she was, I mean, if you had seen that, I mean, she was not able to contact people. She wasn't able to talk to people. And a lot of the fans, they started to start this campaign, like Free Britney movement. Like, okay, Britney, if you're going through any kind of controlling issue, that way, conservatorship, you can talk about this, we will help you to get out of that. Then she got the courage to get out of that.
Yeah, I remember seeing a few years ago when she was kind of in like the pits or the deepest part of her depression, where yeah, she was essentially on house arrest, where her kids were taken from her and she had no contact to the outside world. And I remember seeing, like, she was still doing social media accounts and social media content, and I remember seeing one of her pieces of content where like I could, like, it was close up to her face and I could see into her eyes, and it seemed like her soul was gone. Like she had just been through so much trauma and so much stress that like she was a shell of what she once was.
Definitely, I felt that way too. I mean, when I looked at those pictures, I thought that those comments were quite weird. But when I tried to connect with her, then I felt her energy, man, it made me cry.
Yeah, I felt for her. Nobody should have to ever go through that.
Definitely. So see what is happening here. When Brittany had her sacral chakra positively overactivated with her fans who supported her, right?
Yeah.
But Brittany had negatively overactivated sacral chakra with her family members.
Right.
So she had experienced both the spectrum in her life, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, right?
That makes sense.
So next we're going to talk about the when our sacral chakra is positively underactivated. So these people, they know about the importance of healthy boundary in a relationship. So they be very careful about who they share their personal details with, who they talk to, who they interact with, to what degree. So you see when they're traveling in a bus or a train, they'll be very careful about, because you know what, they're like pickpocketers, robbers, hijackers, human traffickers in these places.
Right.
So they be hyper alert. It's not that they're being unfriendly, but it's just that it's not the place where you would open your heart to people and interact with people in a personal way.
Makes sense.
So they're also super careful about their privacy, about how to maintain the privacy. They would not let anyone get in their house. They would always maintain privacy. And you know, there are like nosy neighbors. In some cultures, there are people there and relatives as well, like too nosy about each other. So these people always have a lot of boundary with them.
Mm-hmm.
You will also see them maintaining the boundary in the social media accounts. Their profile might be locked, or they might maintain something. They might have the friend list very, very small. Like they will only allow people who they know very well, and they would not let any creepy person get to see their personal life.
Makes sense.
Next, we're going to talk about what happens when your sacral chakra is negatively underactivated. So these people here are very introverted, unsocial, and it could be because of many reasons, because it could be that uh, during their childhood, they went through a lot of trauma. That's why they don't trust people to talk to them. Or it could be that they feel very insecure about themselves. That's why they don't talk to people. Another thing could be that, well, I have seen some cultures where there are really a lot of toxic people, so they chose to be by themselves. So for whatever reasons, it just happens that their sacral chakra is quite contracted. They don't have friends.
This is where a lot of my clients would probably fall into, is the self-loathing, self-hatred. Hormonal imbalance is a common one. Feeling isolated from the rest of the world. Basically feeling in that space of being a quote unquote black sheep of the family or of the friend circle or of society.
Definitely. So self-hatred also can come from many reasons, like childhood trauma, or could be their own insecurity that they haven't worked through yet.
Right.
So you can get out of self-hatred in so many ways. There are life coaches. There are also personal development related work. So many things. Okay, so negatively underactivated sacral chakra might attract toxic people towards you. They might have been victim of betrayal, and they might have fear, phobia, mental illness as well. Okay, and they could have hormonal imbalance as well, because sacral chakra and root chakra, they both control our reproductive organ. Our reproductive organ produces important hormone in our body. So when women, they take these contraceptive methods continuously for so many years, it blocks up the lower chakra a lot.
Mhm.
How to heal your sacral chakra? Crystals. Tell me, what is your favorite crystal amongst them?
I have a piece of citrine, and out of these ones, I think I just have the citrine. I do like the tiger's eye one though too.
I love the tiger's eye. That's my favorite. But I have my citrine and carnelian as well.
I've got well, I have black jasper as well. And then regular clear quartz.
Great. You can also do affirmations, but understand you need to do the healing and cleansing first, then your affirmations will work.
Right, makes sense.
Because what happens is, when you have a trash bag in the kitchen, it will attract a lot of rats, bugs, cockroaches, right?
Yep.
This is exactly what is happening. Like, sacral chakra, there is like negative frequency, the fear of toxicity, it is there. That's the reason why you're attracting those attacks towards you. Now you need to take the trash bag out of your kitchen, right?
Yep.
Throw it in the dumpster. And what is our universal dumpster? Send it to the source.
Yeah, no, leaving a bag of trash in the kitchen is a great analogy, because you can't just talk to the bag of trash for it to go out to the dumpster. You actually have to do the work to remove the bag of trash to the dumpster, or go to somebody who is a professional like yourself to help move said bag of trash to the dumpster.
So do you have any question?
Well, how would someone, so when I said the underactivated or the negativity one, where most of my clients sit in, I was in that space for a long time too. So for myself and any viewers, how would we stop attracting toxic people?
Okay, first of all, you need to heal and balance your chakras. Then you need to practice how to stop the repetitive patterns in your life, right? Otherwise, every person that you will encounter, they will repeat the same pattern, the same dynamic that you had with your previous toxic partner, right?
Makes sense.
The
Okay.
next thing that you can do is to practice, not to sabotage yourself, how to prioritize your needs, how to practice self-care and self-love, and how to see there are good and bad people everywhere in the world, right? And because of this is the third dimensional world, there will be always distortion and some level of bad people in the world around. You just cannot make that zero. So what you can do is you can shift yourself like vibrationally more on the positive spectrum with your vibrational alignment, and definitely be aware of your codependent behavior and learn to say no when you have to.
Makes sense. Learning to say no, that is a hard lesson for a lot of people to actually be able to grasp that knowledge and actually put it forward. In my experience with clients anyways, and even in my own life, being the power of saying no has been difficult. It really has been, but it's also empowering once we're able to step in to that space to be able to say no.
Definitely. And I think the biggest fear that people have is, if this is the only toxic person that I know in the world, who is the one that I get along with? Like, someone has a toxic parent and it was like, man, this is the only family that I have, what I'm gonna do. But when you go no contact with a toxic person, you send the message to the universe that, okay, this is no more. I'm not going to invite toxic behavior in any shape or form. And if I have to stay alone for a while, I will, but I will only invite positive dynamic, positive relationship in my life. And that alone phase is quite as difficult, it's quite struggling, especially when someone is like under 18, because they need to be financially independent to move out, to have their own place. But again, I would say that no matter how it is, I mean, it's worth it. The universe will have your back. The universe will always supports you. So ask for it. The universe will show you the support.
Beautiful. I think that's a solid piece of advice right there. So I was watching this video, another video on YouTube actually, and I think it kind of ties into this. So would you be able to explain to everybody what a karmic relationship is?
Okay, so the karmic relationship is something that has a lot of entanglement, the energetic entanglement over lifetimes. Okay.
Okay.
So imagine that when you get the grocery shopping, when you're doing the grocery shopping, you pack your bags. You have the 1 knot, 2 knot, but in this case, someone has 100 knots, right?
Right.
Okay. So if you need to detangle that, you need to put in a lot of effort. So it's just that somehow all the lifetimes that you have lived as animals, as any other life forms, as a tree, as a bird, so many things, somehow over the lifetimes, you have accumulated those energetic dynamics, energetic patterns in within your solar structure. And when you're having this physical life, you're seeing the reflection of that. That's someone who is who robs your money, or who is just toxic to you some way or the other.
Okay. Okay. So would things like cord cutting meditations help with that?
Definitely. Cord cutting is very, very helpful. And you also have to get out of the victimhood mentality, right? Because a lot of people have that idea that it's my karma and I have to tolerate it. I don't have any other choice, but that is not true. That is so not true. It is 100% possible. You don't have to carry your karmic relationships over like so many thousands of the years. You don't have to. You can do it right now. You can cut the cords right now, but you have to do it very consciously.
Right. Okay. So as we know that karma likes to have balance. So if anybody was in the space of being in a relationship where they were getting abused, or they were in a relationship with somebody toxic, how do I word this? Basically, should said person stay in the relationship because they might have been toxic to that individual in a past life as well? Or how would karma be kind of balancing that out? Or do we just take ownership of our life and pull ourselves out of that situation?
Okay, first of all, let me tell you the right definition of karma, right?
Okay.
It's a Hindi word. The proper meaning of this is karma means action. Karma doesn't mean balance. Balance is something else.
Okay.
Now, if you need to balance your action, there is so many ways that you can balance your action, not only through suffering and pain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you had done something in the past, if you had done wrong to someone, and if in this lifetime you got in that entanglement, energetic entanglement, where you shift and switch the roles, right?
Okay.
The victim becomes abuser and the abuser becomes the victim. Now you can still cut the cord and you can balance out your negative action in other ways, like you help poor people or you help others in so many other ways. I mean, you know what? People come into our life and the teachers in so many ways, like the teachers you had in your high school, the neighbors. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people who came into your life and taught you a lot of lessons without having you to go through suffering and agony, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not true that a karmic relationship is always, it has to be like torture, suffering kind of dynamic. It doesn't have to be that way. So if someone is going through any kind of abusive relationship, I would tell them, go no contact, save yourself, have boundary, and do the cord cutting and do the vibrational alignment to get out of that energetic entanglement in the quantum field.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So one more question for you then, just on these on karmic relationships and all that sort of stuff. Then what is your take on things like twin flames or soulmates and that sort of thing?
I guess everyone is our soulmate. Your dog, your cat, your neighbors, even the ants that you have in your home right now, they are also your soulmate. They are
Okay.
the fraction of the same source, right? They're all your soulmates. With some people you have a bit more engagement, with other people you don't have much engagement. Other people, they support you, teach you in a certain way, and the other people and the other souls, they support you or teach you or make you understand the universe in other ways, right?
Right. All right. Is there anything else that you wanted to add for this before we wrap up this chapter, or you want to give a little bit of a preview for our next episode for our listeners?
Yeah, in next episode we will talk about 10 uncommon signs of solar plexus chakra imbalance and how to heal them.
Beautiful. All right. Well, that is it for today, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. Your support is always appreciated. If you have any questions on anything that we talked about today, feel free to reach out to myself via email, coach@thewolverinelifestyle.com, or you can reach out to Alina. All of her contact information will be in the show notes at the bottom, including her channel, including her email, and any other way you need to get a hold of her. So that is it for today, guys. Please take care.